Okay guys, our first cut is gonna be a 2x4. It's gonna end up being 12 inches long with a 22.5-degree cut on each end. All right, we've got our first board. That's gonna be our base. Now we take a 2x4 that is 8 foot long, and the first cut we make is we're just gonna trim off the end to get our 22.5-degree cut. We need 4 of these. They're gonna be 12 inches long. It's gonna be cut back like that. Now when you cut this one, you've got your pattern for this. Line up your sides, mark your line. Hit it on the line. That's 2. We're gonna do it 2 more times. We need 4 of them. 3. So we've got our 4 boards. Okay, for our next piece, we need one 14 inches long. We need it 14 inches long from right here to here. We're gonna mark it on the edge. We're gonna make a 45 and cut it back that way. So what we're gonna do, we'll move it over to 45, line up our saw. Now we've got our 14 inch that's cut 45. Now on this one, we just cut it and it has a 45. We're gonna flip it over. We're gonna measure from this corner here down. We're gonna measure 12 inches and we're gonna put a mark. We're gonna cut this one back opposite of this one at 22.5 degrees. So we've got a 12 inch, we've got the 14. When we get all done, we should have 8 pieces. And then our last one is gonna be the base for it all, and it needs to be 21 inches. This one's gonna have an angle cut opposite of the other end. So our last one is gonna be 21 inches, and we're gonna have a 22.5, a 22.5 on each end, and they're gonna be opposite of each other. So if you drew a line, they would intersect. Today we're using 2¼ inch, number 6 fine thread screws. They have a small head for concealment, and they have a square bit hole for our drill. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna line these up, put 2 screws in it. 2. All right, that's the base. Okay, so what we did was we took our 21 inch board, we took our 12 inch board with opposing cuts. Oops, I got the wrong one. It's got a 45 on there. I gotta take that off. There it is. All right guys, so what we've done is we've found our 2 boards with 22.5 degree cuts on each end. Our long one, our 21 inch, and our 12 inch one. What we've done is we've marked center. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay them on their backs, take our impact, and we're using these number 6 fine thread screws with a square bit head. And we're just gonna put them in with 2 screws. Now that we have our base, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay it all out on here, see what we have, okay? Now, I've got an ugly board. I'm gonna use that for the back. I'm just gonna lay it on here. My next one, I'm gonna lay it on here. These are my 12 inch parallel cut. Again, I'm just gonna lay it on here. I'm gonna lay this one on here. It's shaping up already. And when I get it all laid out, I'm just gonna put screws in it. Okay guys, so what I did was I laid my boards out. I have my 4 12 inch that are cut with parallel ends, 22 degrees. I've got my 1 12 inch that's got a 45 and a 22. I've got one here that is a 45 and a 22. And I've got my 21 that is that are 22 on each end and 22 on each end. I've got these screwed together. Now it's just a matter of screwing it all together. Now I have my Christmas tree, and then we slap a little paint on it and we're done. All right, we're just gonna push this up against it and we're gonna put our screws in. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Guys, when you do this, you can always take your pencil and you can mark them right here so you know where they're gonna line up. I'm gonna turn this one around, guys. Work on the other end, hang it over close to the edge so my screw doesn't end up hitting the side of the, or my driver doesn't hit the inside of the table. I'll lay these out. We're gonna move it around here to the edge. We're gonna push it down flush, all of it. We're gonna put 2 in here, and these 2 will tie our top together and we'll be done. Slap some paint on it. And guys, if you want the dimensions and all the schematics of this thing, this is exactly what you're looking at. All right, I was gonna put them in the description, but there they are. We're gonna hit this one with some red paint. like it might be sprinklings. I could have spray painted it in here on this cardboard. Let this dry, and then we'll have a red one and a green one.